Welcome back to the Embrace the Journey podcast. My name is Ian Nottage. I am your host today. If you are a returning guest, first off, I hope you're doing your cardio right now, going for a walk, doing some active, tracking your protein. I don't know. But again, welcome back. Super excited to have you here. If you are new to the channel, well, you came to your fitness source. So if you guys need tips about fat loss, building muscle, whatever, yo-yo dieting, reverse dieting, all of that, I specifically coach and also help people that are beginners to intermediate in the gym who really struggle with fat loss and want to make fitness a lifestyle. So, super excited to have you. Now we got my intro out of the way. Let's dive into today's topic. I think this would be a really good one. I genuinely believe this could also lead into people struggling with binging. But that is the topic I wrote down. Let me pull it up real quick. Is should you eat even when you're hungry? And if you ever put on a reverse diet or you start eating higher protein diets or more fiber or more complex carbs and a better calorie goal with better food options, you might find that you're really, really full. And that is a very normal and common feeling. But just because you're full doesn't mean you're putting on fat tissue, because fat tissue is correlated to calories. Fullness and satiation is correlated to types of foods and meal timing and a lot of other different factors. So whenever people go on struggle with this whole I'm not hungry, so I'm not going to eat. Think of it as this. If you don't eat at that point and get your protein and complex carbs and fiber and everything in, you're going to build your hunger up later till the nighttime comes and you find yourself in the pantry eating whatever and you don't really care about the macros, you just eat candy. Everything that just sounds good. And the reason why maybe you keep having this same issue, maybe you're struggling with yo-yo dieting or binging, is because you're not eating even when you're not hungry. And because of that, you're building up this hunger that by the end of the night you can't control. So when it comes to like should you eat when you're hungry? Yes, because we have to understand why do we eat? We eat to recover and fuel our body. Protein, fats, carbs. If you don't know what macros are, earlier podcast I've broke it down completely, but I'll just touch on them a little bit. Each macronutrient has a specific function in your body, and you get hungry whenever you lack specific macros or even micronutrients. So whenever you're not eating food and getting those macros or micros in, your body eventually is going to develop some ghrelin or produce some ghrelin and build up that hunger. And if whenever you eat later on the day, it's only, let's say, candy or light foods or not very, not good options. So, like, it's just simple carbs. It's not a good amount of protein. It's not a good amount of electrolytes, and not a good amount of micronutrients, not a good amount of fats or carbs. And you're picking more of those junk food options throughout going whenever you're hungry, you're going to find that it's easier to binge. So, all in all, eating when you're not hungry can help prevent you binging in the future. So if you really struggle with that, highly recommend like force yourself to eat. Now here are some tips to do it. So like for me, I was a skinny kid. I didn't like eating. Like I was 120 pounds, 6 foot tall. Like I was really, really thin. And putting on weight was really hard because I wasn't eating a lot of food. Okay. So for me, how did I keep building up my hunger? So one tip is eat earlier in the day. When I would first wake up, and even nowadays, I eat breakfast around 7:30 in the morning to 8 in the morning. I can do that. Now I know some of you are like, I cannot eat that early. That's way too early. Eat as early as you can. And it can be anything. It could be a protein bar. It could be a smoothie, which smoothies are very, very easy calories to get in. It could be a protein shake. It could be eggs. It could be anything, right? I don't care. If you guys like to have steak or, a chicken meal or spaghetti and meatballs for breakfast, by all means, do spaghetti and meatballs. But eat as early as you can. That really helps. Second thing, hydration. So if sometimes hunger can be affected by you being dehydrated. So you might not want to eat because you're dehydrated. So just keep your hydration good. So like drink anywhere from 8 to 16 ounces with each meal every day and then make sure you're drinking water in between. So whenever I've been dehydrated, I find I'm not as hungry, but once I start drinking a bunch of water, I get hungry again. So hydration is super important. Now, the third thing, okay, is I'll sometimes split my meals in half. So I'll eat as early as I can. So for example, for today, I didn't want my eggs my egg whites and everything else for my protein. So what I did is I took half of my breakfast, which was just my protein oatmeal, and I had that. And it was a light amount of calories, but because I started to eat earlier, am able to now keep my protein high, and also later in the day I'm starting to get a lot more hungrier, but I'm not as hungry as I would have been if I would have skipped breakfast, and I'm able to hit my protein goal a lot easier. So you can always split your meals in half or eat a very small amount of your normal meal and then save a lot of your calories for lunch or dinner or whatever else. So take those tips, try them out. I'm sure there's probably plenty of, other tips you can incorporate, but those three or those couple of them really helped me because you start eating and putting on a weight, and really helped me progress in my fitness journey. And it's something, sorry, excuse me, it's something that I incorporate with a lot of my clients who really struggle with like eating, and especially when I put them through reverse diet, because now we're getting more fruits and veggies, and we're getting more protein in, so it's very difficult. But all in all, eat when you're even if you're not hungry, because you need those macronutrients and micronutrients to keep your body functioning at its peak and keep recovering. Okay? So remember, embrace the journey. If you guys have any specific topics you want me to comment or talk about, be sure to comment down on the podcast down below. Um, and yeah, that's basically it. I appreciate the support. Share it with a friend, do a little review. But remember, embrace the journey. Catch you guys in the next one.